Hi friends, thanks so much for stopping by my channel. Today I'm participating in the Trinity Stamps Sending Smooches video hop, and this video hop is to share with you amazing samples as part of the new release Sending Smooches. I am going to be creating the slimline card for you here today, and I'm going to start off here with the Lots of Dots 6x9 stencil set. I'm using this stencil here with the larger dots on it that you can see here on the screen, and I'm using my Trinity Stamps blending brush to blend onto some neenah cardstock some really beautiful dull pink dye ink from Simon Says Stamp. This is just such a beautiful color of pink. It's so bright, and I just thought it was perfect for a Valentine's card. And I'm just blending it through this Lots of Dots stencil here, which is a 6x9 stencil. Fantastic for creating all kinds of different card sizes, including a slimline. And that's one of the things that I really love about these larger stencils, is that they are really, really versatile. Now I am going to put that one off to the side, and I'm grabbing another one of the Lots of Dots stencils. So this stencil comes with a set of 4 different sizes, and I'm going to run some Glitz glitter gel from Gina K and Wild Lilac through the next stencil from Lots of Dots that I'm going to be using here today. I'm just going to use my Nuvo spatula here and run that gel through the next size of my Lots of Dots stencil. And this one actually has a variety of different sizes of dots, so that some of the dots are smaller and larger on this stencil, which is kind of cool. And I'm just going to blend that gel through the stencil. And when I'm all done here, I'm just going to set that aside and let it dry for a little bit. But this gel does actually dry quite quickly. And you can just see how fun those stencils are for layering. These are the other 2 sizes that come with that Lots of Dots set. So those are the 4 sizes that you get in that complete set of 6x9 stencils. So I'm just going to set all of that aside there. And I'm going to be using some of the Trinity Stamps Slimline cardstock. And this is a double-sided cardstock paper pad. It's not cardstock, it's pattern paper, but it's very cool. And I'm also going to be using this brand new die from Trinity. This is the Tall Heart Trio die that's part of the Sending Smooches release. And I've die cut that out there. And I've also die cut a panel of dull pink cardstock from using the Slimline Scallop die. I love this die set. It's so great. And this is just these Slimline sets from Trinity are just fantastic basic dies for your stash for working on your slimline cards. So there you can see that scallop panel that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to layer all of these different pieces together here. I'm going to layer that over top of the dull pink, and there you can just see the offcuts from that Tall Heart Trio die. Just going to set those aside. I won't be using those for this project, but I will save those for another one. This is the Slimline Stitched die set from Trinity as well, and I'm just showing you here which one I used from that set to cut out the Tall Heart Trio edge. So once I was done cutting out that Tall Heart Trio, I wanted that panel to be a little bit smaller so it layers over top of my scallop piece there. So I just used that stitched die from the Stitch Slimline dies to cut that out. Now I've used that same die that I used for the Tall Heart Trio edge to cut out the stenciled piece as well. And I'm going to layer that stenciled piece behind the Tall Heart Trio piece. So here you can just see how these are all going to layer on top of each other. There's going to be 3 pieces layered, and I am going to add some dimension there eventually with some foam adhesive to pop up that patterned paper from the Slimline pattern paper pad. So just going to start to do some other details here for my card. And this is the There's No One Like You stamp and coordinating die set from the new Sending Smooches release. This is a sentiment set that is an older set. I think it's called Love and Stuff Sentiments. And I'm also going to be using the brand new Scripty Heart die set from Trinity. And I'm going to be using 2 of the words from that Scripty die set. Now I want to use my blackout ink from Ink on 3 here to stamp out my little Cupid, my little gnome Cupid here from There's No One Like You for my project today, because I do want to do a little bit of Copic coloring. So I am going to stamp that out onto some neenah Solar White cardstock here. And now I'm just going to go in and do a little bit of Copic coloring. The great thing about that ink on 3 ink is it's a hybrid ink, so you can use it for lots of different techniques, including watercolor and so on. And of course, it's just great for Copic markers. Now, while you watch me color here, I am going to tell you a little bit more about the hop. There is a bunch more information that will be in the description box below for the Trinity Stamps hop today. There is also going to be an Instagram hop as part of the Sending Smooches release. And there is also going to be some gift cards given away. So there will be 2 $25 gift cards to the Trinity Stamps store. So make sure you check that out. And like I said, I will give all of the information for the hop in the description box below. So make sure that you check out how to win a prize, and make sure you check out who else is participating in this video hop. I will leave a link to the next video in the hop in the description box below. So just doing some really, really simple Copic coloring here. I'm using mostly a 2-color blend for most of the areas. I think the cap is one area where I'd use 3 different colors, and the heart perhaps is where I use 3 colors, but just going in with the lightest color for the most part, and then blending it out with, and then, adding the shadows and then blending out the shadows with the lighter color again. So just a really, really simple process. I know I have sped this up quite a bit, but it is super, super easy to use these Copic markers in the way that I'm using them. So I'm using a C5, I think, for the bucket for the arrows there. And now you can just see that I'm actually going to use a 3 red-violet color blend here on that heart. And I'm using that really bright, I think it's an RV04 possibly, and I think you'll see that right away here, but I love that color. It's so bright, but I just wanted little pops of that on my little gnome area here, just because I didn't want it to be too dark. So I did use just a little bit of Wink of Stella on my little gnome's wings, on my little Cupid gnome's wings, and a tiny little bit of the lightest pink color there, but I just wanted that to be really subtle. And I'm using the coordinating die from There's No One Like You to cut out my sweet little gnome there. And now I'm going to start putting my card together. So I'm using a little bit of Nuvo liquid adhesive to put my layers together. And the nice thing about that adhesive is it doesn't warp your paper as long as you don't put too much of it on. If you just put like just a nice amount on there, just kind of thinly, and then you burnish it on nicely there. I'm going to burnish the front and then the back of the card, the inside and the back of that panel as well. And that's just going to get that nice and stuck, because honestly, there's nothing worse than making a beautiful card and then having it fall apart, right? So I'm just using enough of that adhesive, like I said, so that it will stick nicely, but won't warp the paper or anything like that. And here you can just see I'm going to go ahead and stick down my stenciled part. So my card base is white. That's a neenah Solar White 110-pound cardstock base. And then I've got the scallop piece and the stenciled piece. And now I'm going to use a little bit of foam adhesive on the pattern paper piece. This is from that Tall Heart Trio die cut piece. And I'm going to put that over top of the stenciling, and it's just going to have some really nice dimension in that way. So now what I wanted to do was add some sentiments to my card as well. So from that sentiment set that I showed you earlier, I've got Happy Valentine's Day. And I actually die cut that out using the 4-bar card builder die set. That is an amazing die set. That is just a really great staple for your die cut stash. And of course, I'm going to be using a couple of the dies from the Scripty Heart die set. This is brand new with the Sending Smooches, and I've cut it from the doll pink cardstock and then some Nuvo glitter purple cardstock as well. And I'm going to use that for a sentiment on the inside of my card. Actually, I just really love that. I think it's kind of unexpected for the inside of your card, and I love how that looks when you open the card up. Now I do have my little gnome Cupid adhered to my card front. I wanted it in the lower section of the card, and I'm going to add a few details to my little gnome here using some Wink of Stella in just a few different areas. So you'll see me adding that on here to the cap and the heart area as well. And of course, I've already added it on the wings of my Cupid gnome as well. And I will end up putting a little bit of white gel pen to add a few little highlights here and there on my sweet little gnome. This is just a really easy way to add some details that I just really love to put onto my cards, just because I think it just adds that little bit of extra pizzazz and detail in that way. And it's just some little highlights here and there. Just see me adding that white gel pen like that. And if you find that your white gel pen skips, just go slow. Just move your pen slowly and it will work perfectly for you. So just going to finish adding that on, and then I will add that sentiment banner, Happy Valentine's Day, which I used the banner from, of course, from that die set that I showed you, that 4-bar card builder die set. And I will add that onto my card front with a little bit of foam adhesive as well. Adding a little pop of glitter and sparkle and shine with a little bit of purple glitter glue. That's just a little bit of stickles that I'm adding onto the front of that little heart there that my sweet little gnome Cupid is holding onto. I'm going to take a die set from the Falling For You set, and I'm going to use the dies, the coordinating dies for that, just to cut out a couple of hearts for the top area and the bottom area that I've just stuck on there. And I also added a little bit of Lawn Fawn twine there and tied a little bow in that area just to put some detail in the top portion of the card as well. And I'm going to go ahead and use my liquid adhesive from Nuvo again to put the scripty heart dies from that doll pink and the purple glitter paper to the inside there, and that's going to be the sentiment on the inside of my card to finish my card up. I have linked up to all of the products that I've used today in the description box below, and don't forget to click those links and shop if you're interested in purchasing some of the amazing Sending Smooches release today from Trinity Stamps. It is such a fun release. You will absolutely love all of the new bits from this collection. Thanks so much for stopping by, everybody, and don't forget to check out Trinity Stamps. Make sure that you check these other videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you here another time on my channel. Bye-bye.